welcome to episode 55, I think, of the Graceful Tangle podcast. I'm Amy Kate, a young but passionate knitter and crocheter. I am so happy you're joining me today for this episode. I have so many things to talk about. I've gotten a really good amount of knitting done this week, which I didn't expect to, but I'm so happy that I did because I seriously have so many things to talk about and I am excited about every single one of them. If you haven't already subscribed to my channel, please go ahead and do that. And don't forget to hit that notification bell so that you don't miss out on any future videos. You can find the show notes for this episode linked in the description box below. I haven't had them for a couple of weeks because life has just been so crazy. But I do have them available this week. So be sure to reference those if you have any questions. But of course, I will include other links down below as well for you to check out for more direct information. And if you have any other questions, don't hesitate to reach out to me on another social media platform or in the comments below. I always want to keep these conversations going and answer any and all questions I can. Alrighty, so today is Saturday, May the 29th. Yes, it's the 29th. Yeah, usually I record on Sunday, but that really has not happened for a while, so I should really probably stop saying that. I do think I'll get back into my Sunday filming schedule here very soon. It's been a couple weeks of craziness. I have school starting back next week, so I don't know. Structure will be found, I suppose, but it's also going to get really hectic and busy with, balancing summer classes with other traditional summer things that happen. So it's going to be a lot, but I'm excited about it. So I have so many things to talk about this episode, so let's just go ahead and hop right into it with a finished object. Okay, I am so happy that I finally have a finished object to share with you guys. I feel like it has been way too long. I have been designing up a storm, which is so much fun, but it has led to lots and lots of design content for the podcasts and not as much, standard finished objects and works in progress from other patterns, from other designers. That will be changing soon. I have a couple of things lined up that I'm going to be making, and I'm really excited about them. So today I do have one finished object, well, actually two. One of them is knitted, and that is my vanilla socks. So let me put these on the blockers so that you can see them a little bit better. These are the socks that I had such, high hopes and good plans for. I was planning on timing myself and seeing exactly how long it takes me to knit a pair of socks. That plan quickly backfired. Not gonna lie. I was doing good for a few days there, and then I missed a day, and so that messed me up. I was trying to do it, 30 minutes every day for a week and see if I can get one sock done in that time. And then I missed a day because it just completely, I just did not think about it. And so that kind of messed me up. And then I did it for one day, but it was longer than 30 minutes, and so that messed me up. And then I was sick, which messed everything up. So that backfired for the first sock. And then the second sock, I literally just completely forgot that whole plan, cast it on, and knit it up pretty quickly. So there's a little look into Amy Kate's brain right there. Way too much going on all the time. But these socks, nonetheless, are complete, and I love them so much. They're so cute. They're so fun, and I'm completely obsessed with them. So I kind of adapted the vanilla sock pattern from Kay of the Crazy Sock Lady. She has vanilla sock patterns available in her Etsy and Ravelry shops for 9-inch circulars, DPNs, and magic loop. She released them last summer, I think. Yeah, it was last summer, for the first summer sock camp. So the second summer sock camp is actually beginning this week, which is so exciting. But she released this pattern last year, and it's kind of what I used. Honestly, I had that in the back of my mind, but I didn't even look at it. I mean, I'm at the point now where I have, really found my favorite vanilla sock recipe, both for using an afterthought heel and a heel flap and gusset. I'm still experimenting with, a German short row heel and, other fish lips kiss is something else that I really want to try that I haven't done yet. So I don't know, I kind of did an adaptation about that pattern, but in short, that's what I use. That's what I'm calling, because these technically aren't a design, so I don't know. It just makes more sense to put them in this section, I suppose. That being said, I did mention in a recent episode that I am considering writing up this heel flapping gusset pattern and putting it for free on my blog, and maybe even as a one-page PDF on in my Etsy and Ravelry shops, just to kind of give knitters who make my sock patterns and I don't know, a reference for a different type of heel than an afterthought heel, because that's what I generally use in my own sock designs. It's super easy to put in any heel you'd like, and I always make sure that's clear in the patterns. But I don't know, I want to be able to put a heel flopping gusset pattern in my patterns, so I've kind of changed it up. It's not exactly the same as any other designers now, so I feel a little bit more comfortable doing it. It's really hard with socks. I mean, there's certain things that you just don't change, and heel flapping gusset is really one of those things. So I don't know, I'm kind of learning still about that process, but I did use that heel for this specific pair of socks. I also used Knit Picks static yarn in the colorway Seascape, and I just love it so much. I actually got some pictures of one sock, because at the time I only had one done. But I got some pictures of it at the beach when we went this past weekend, and it was so fun. It was so nice. I'll talk more about that trip at the end of the episode, but yeah, it was a lot of fun to take some pictures there. I also have a brand new review for this yarn on my channel, so I will link that down below. Be sure to check it out if you haven't already. I just talk about, my thoughts, my honest thoughts about this yarn. I've used it so many times, so it was high time that I give it a dedicated review. And yeah, really love these socks. So happy with the way they turned out, and they fit perfectly. I need to more accurately block them. I need to wet block them, but they're fine right now, and I love them so much. They turned out so good, and they match almost exactly. The second one is just a little bit different. I think maybe I left more of a tail for the cast on, honestly. I think that's what happened. And so it kind of made everything like 2 rows off, which is, frustrating, but you really can't tell, so it's not a big deal at all. But yeah, so that is that finished object. I have a couple of finished objects for designs, but of course those will wait just a little bit. The other finished object that I wanted to briefly talk about is what's behind me. So I made this actually this morning. It's Saturday, and I made it this morning. And this is my new wall hanging. So I literally just got a stick from outside. I cut one off of a big bush that we have. And I picked a whole bunch of yarn from my stash that matches the palette of my room. And I just made this wall hanging. I love it so much. I'm so obsessed with it. It turned out so good. Yeah, I love it so much. I'm so happy with it. So it was a lot of fun to make. I just, kind of went to town and just was creative with it, and it was a lot of fun. I had worship music on in the background. It was really nice. Also, this is my mannequin. She has not been on the podcast possibly ever. I've done a little bit of cleaning and organizing and rearranging this week, and so I've decided to put her in this location. We'll see if she stays here. You never know. But for right now, she's here. Her name is Mavis, if you're curious, because I'm weird like that. And she's wearing my Ladyfingers sweater. This is a pattern by Morgan of More Thunder. It was a free knit along last summer that was so much fun. So yeah, that's what she is wearing. So really love this. Let me know if you like it down below. I think it makes a really awesome backdrop, and I'm so excited with it. I wanted, it's really perfect because I can take it down from the wall easily as well. So I didn't have to say goodbye to like a perfectly blank wall, which I didn't want to do. So I think this was definitely the right decision. And then one last note, this shadow right here, I have a loft bed, and that is the shadow of the ladder. So literally nothing I can do about it. Yeah, kind of a shame, but it's also not a big deal in the long run. So anyway, that is all for finished objects. Now I do have one work in progress to talk about and so many designs. So let's go ahead and hop into that. Alrighty, so like I said, I do have one work in progress to show that isn't a design, though it actually is technically one of my previous designs, and that is my Lindy kimono. So I'm storing it in this bag. This is one that I made quite a while ago, but I love it. Oh, that's why my hand keeps slipping. I need to retie this knot. I really want to make some more project bags soon. I love it so much. I just don't take the time to do it very often because it takes up a lot of time for one, and it's kind of a hassle to get everything out and, you know, iron the fabric and all of that jazz. But I love using them so much. And this one is probably my favorite one that I've made, actually. I have another floral one that I made in the past, and I really love it too. But yeah, this one is just so fun. So this is my Lindy kimono. I've made a little bit of progress on this since the last episode. I am using, wow, this has some grass on it. This was one of the projects that I took on our trip, so there's really no telling what's going on with it, to be quite frank. But I'm using Lindy Chain by Crochet for this project. This is the colorway Ash, and it is a cotton and linen blend. So Lindy Chain, hence the name Lindy Kimono. I designed this pattern last year using, I think, 4 or 5 different colors of Lindy Chain, and this year I wanted to make another sample for myself in a solid gray color. So that is exactly what I am doing, and I am just working away on the back panel right now. Here is my progress. I love it so much. So when I showed it last week, I had really only done like 5 rows. So I've made a substantial amount of progress, especially considering this is definitely not the only thing I am working on right now. But I am loving this project so much. It's going to be so well loved this summer, assuming I can get it done before the fall. And is yet to be determined. But I really hope I do, because I want to wear it so bad. It literally matches everything in my wardrobe. It's going to look so good with like what I'm wearing now, shorts and a t-shirt. It's going to be perfect. I can't wait to wear it. So the original design is really long. That kimono goes down to like my calf, really, like past my knees. This one, I haven't quite decided how long I want it to be yet, but I'm thinking about down to my knees. So shorter than my first one, but not super short either. I don't know. I haven't decided yet. I'm definitely past my bottom and hips. I'm thinking either like mid-thigh or knees. So we'll have to see. I'll evaluate that once I get to that point. But this is 2 skeins right now. I have this super cute flamingo progress keeper, and that is marking 1 skein. So I did all of that with just 1 skein of yarn. So I kind of wanted to see how much I was able to get done with just 1 skein, and I did quite a bit. So that's really good. I am kind of thinking that I will work until I have worked 4 skeins into the back panel and probably stop there. Let's see, right now it goes down to my waist, really, so when it's twice that length, it'll almost go down to my mid-thigh, so we'll see. Again, I haven't quite decided yet, but I want this to be done as soon as possible, but still make it long enough, so it's kind of finding that balance. But yeah, I'm really enjoying this project. It's super mindless. I do it, you know, just when I need a break from designs and everything else, and it is really nice. So one quick aside, somebody is mowing the grass outside in our neighborhood, so I apologize if you hear that. I don't think you can, but the mower is making like a weird squeaky noise, so I'm hoping that doesn't pick up on camera. This is what I think is going to be the only time I have to film this weekend, so I wanted to go ahead and get it done. But there was like literally always somebody mowing their grass this time of year, so I apologize for that. Anyway, so that is my only work in progress this week. Now I have so many designs to talk about, and I am so excited about each and every one of them. So let's go ahead and chat about those. Okay, so the very first design that I wanted to chat about with you guys today is my new shorty sock pattern. So this is not released yet, but it is going to be released very soon. I honestly ripped both of these up this week and I'm so obsessed. I'm so excited about this pattern. I'm so honestly proud of myself for just, figuring it out and making something that I love, because there's just nothing better than that feeling, honestly. And I love these socks so much. So here is the finished pair. This is my shorty sock vanilla recipe. So, or vanilla shorty sock recipe, I guess is what it should be called. So I designed a pair of socks that is my personal vanilla sock recipe. It's called the Success Socks. I'll link it down below. It's a free pattern in my Ravelry shop and on my blog. And then you can't upload something for free on Etsy, but it is as cheap as it can possibly be on Etsy. So you can check it out. You can check that pattern out in all of those places. But it's also available on the Knit Picks website. I should have said that earlier. But anyway, this pattern is going to be called the Success Shorties, assuming that for some reason that pattern name isn't already taken on Ravelry. I have to check that. It might change. But this is my favorite vanilla sock recipe for shorty socks, and I am so excited about it. So here is what they look like. These also have not been wet blocked yet, so they will look a little bit better in like the pattern pictures and things like that. But for this specific pair, I used Knit Picks Capretta. I don't remember the colorway name, which is really frustrating. I will link it down below so that you can check it out. But I just don't remember the actual colorway name of this specific yellow. It is absolutely beautiful, and I love it so much. So again, I will link it down below, but this is what a new skein looks like. And this is Capretta Superwash. This specific colorway, if you're curious, is Adriatic, I think, Heather. Really beautiful. This is an 80% superwash fine merino wool, 10% cashmere, 10% nylon yarn. So it is so nice to work with, to wear. It's amazing, absolutely amazing. So super duper excited about this pattern. I'm going to be making a couple of other samples really soon, just playing around with different yarn options. These take less than 50 grams of yarn to make. Now, I have small feet, I know that, but honestly, I'm trying to remember now. I don't remember the exact gram amount that I used, but you should be able to get a full pair of shorty socks with just 50 grams of yarn, which is absolutely amazing. I'm just so excited about this pattern. So again, I'm going to be making a couple of other samples soon, so stay tuned for that because I'm really excited to get started on them. I'm also hoping to have a separate video that's like a knit with me style and not really a tutorial, but I will be walking through a few of the steps, and I want to use this pattern for it. So stay tuned for that because I'm really excited about that idea. But yeah, so that is my first design. I love them so much. And I cannot wait to release that pattern later this month. So stay tuned. It will be free. I don't know if I mentioned that earlier, but it will be a free pattern, which is always super duper exciting. So that is my first design. I'm actually going to put them over here so that I don't misplace them. Okay, and then my next design that I'm working on, so many socks, y'all. I'm designing so many socks right now. Okay, so this is my special collaboration with Lauren of 24 Threads. I am so excited about this project. The stitch pattern took quite a while to figure out, I'm not gonna lie, but I have now passed that roadblock and I'm so happy. And now these are going so smoothly. So I am nearing the end, I guess. I'm about halfway done with the first sock, and the pattern writing process is going absolutely amazing. So I will be doing a tester call for these socks very soon. So stay tuned for that if you would like to test this pattern. I hope you decide to apply if you so desire. But here is what the sock looks like so far. So here is the stitch pattern. I'm going to put let's just be a little bit more professional. I have this white piece of like cardstock here so that you can see the lace design a little bit better. There we go. So it is lace, but it is a very simple lace pattern, so don't be scared about it. I am also planning on doing some sort of tutorial to go along with this pattern for the actual lace pattern. We'll see. I have not narrowed down all of those details yet, but I do plan on providing some sort of visual aid for this pattern, because it's not hard, it's not complicated, I promise. But there are just a couple of things that I would really like to provide you with a visual aid for. So I'm hoping to do that. But yeah, so this is using the special yarn that Lauren designed, or dyed, excuse me, for this specific design, for this collaboration. And this is the progress keeper that she made me, which, oh my gosh, is so sweet. It says my name in like my favorite font ever. I love it so much. So anyway, a name is decided for this, a name is decided for the yarn. I'm so excited about it, but I'm gonna wait and share it in probably, let me think. It might be not next podcast, but the next. I haven't quite decided yet, but I just want to talk to Lauren and make sure it's okay that I reveal it first. So anyway, I'm really excited about this pattern. Again, it is going so well. I have now completed the leg, so I'm about to place my waist yarn for the afterthought heel, and then I will be cruising down the foot. So really excited about this pattern. It's going so well, and yeah, I'm loving it. I'm loving every single stitch. The lace pattern is absolutely addictive and goes by so quick. So yeah, that is my next design. Again, it's going really well. I have my notebook in here with all of my pattern notes, so it's going great. It is going great, and it feels so good. Okay, so then my next design, again, let's just go ahead and share all the socks, because Amy Kate has a problem. Okay, this sock is really fun. So this is the second design that I'm doing in collaboration with Koi Fish Fibers. I designed the koi shawl for her, and it has been so well received, and I'm so thankful for that. I love that pattern so much. I just love how it turned out, and I'm so happy that you guys do too. So now I am designing a pair of socks for her, a knit design this time, and they are going really well. I'm so excited about this pattern. So I'm using this colorway from her, which I believe is called Into the Woods. I think it's something woodland themed. I'll have to find the label and look back at it to make sure that's the right name. But I think it's Into the Woods. And here is my sock so far. So this is the sock version of the Best Dude Beanie pattern, which is a super simple free pattern that you can find in my shops. And it is just a 2x2 ribbed beanie. I made it for so many men, all my uncles and dad. That's it right now, you know. We won't talk about that subject, but by men, I mean my uncles and my dad and my papa is what we call him. So anyway, this is the sock version of that. So they are designed with a man in mind. You know, they're going to be called, well, I haven't decided yet. I don't know if I'm going to stick with, like, the Best Dude socks theme. I'm not entirely sure. But even though they are designed for a man, they are completely gender neutral. Like, I'm definitely going to be making myself a pair. They have this 2x2 ribbed front, which really just gives a lot of elasticity, which is something that I have found a lot of men need, because it's a lot easier to size for them if the fabric itself is nice and stretchy. So that's why I use 2x2 for the hat, and it's also why I'm using 2x2 for the sock, and they're going really well. So it's doing some fun kind of spiraling color pooling, and it is so fun. I love it so much. It's kind of like a trail almost, like you're surrounded by woods and grass and you know, just trees, and then you're walking along the brown path, the dirt path. I don't know. I think it's so fun. I think it's such a cool colorway. So I have placed my afterthought heel waist yarn, so the leg is complete. The foot is nearing completion. I'm making these for one of my brothers. I think I know which one. Anyway, I have to figure out his foot size and make sure, just count my rows and make sure I'm doing the correct amount before I go too much further. But anyway, really loving this, and it is going so great. I'm actually using my Knit Picks needles for these. I don't use the Knit Picks sock needles as much as my Xiaogu ones, just because I prefer the join on the Xiaogu needles. But I've been using these for these socks, and I'm really enjoying them. So, yeah, they're really good as well. Yeah, I'm really enjoying this project for sure. So, that is yet another sock design. I have, well, let's be honest here, I have so many sock designs planned. Way too many. But I will be starting my next one this week with this amazing yarn by Pretty Twisted Yarns. You can find a code for her shop in the description box to use throughout the month of June for my subscribers, so please take advantage of that. Her yarn is, I can't boast about it enough. It is absolutely amazing. I honestly have always wanted to use one of these amazing gobstopper balls, and I am so excited to do so. Yeah, I've done a lot of planning this week for this design, but I just haven't started it quite yet, so I'm going to be doing that very, very soon, and I'm really looking forward to it. So, I also already have, so I have this one as well. Originally, I was planning on doing a pair of vanilla socks with this, and I might still do that. I really can't decide, but I have a stitch pattern in my mind that would be so perfect for this yarn, this colorway specifically. So yeah, I don't know. I might have to do 2 designs for her so that I can use both of them. We'll have to see, but I'm really excited about it. So stay tuned for that. I will definitely have that going on the needles next week for the next episode. Okay, so that is all for socks. Are you all tired of socks? I really hope you're not, because I don't see myself ever getting tired of them. Yeah, I don't know. I hope you aren't tired of them. I really do. Okay, but I do have 2 blankets to share with you guys, and I'm so excited about them. So the first one, I've been working on this for a little while, but I did not show it last week because I was working on getting my next blanket design written and finished and all of that, and it will be releasing very shortly. This is my chevron granny blanket. So this is featuring Bravo worsted and Bravo speckle. Right now I have one Bravo speckle section worked into it. And I don't know if I have the label in here. It would be really nice if I did. Let's see. That one is a silver ball, and that's not even the right yarn. So I don't know what colorway this speckle is, but it's the purple one. There's only one purple one, so that should help. I think it's something grape. And then I'm using silver for the gray. And yeah, so this hasn't grown too much, but I did finish the gray section this week, which is really nice. I'm going to be working on this a lot more now. It's going to be one of my main focuses for this summer, to get it ready to be released soon-ish. And I'm going into the next speckle color soon, so I have to look back at my picture that I took to plan out all of the colors to see which one goes next, because I don't have it in my bag here. But that is definitely the next step, and I'm loving this design. So here is what it looks like folded in half, so that you can kind of see it a little bit better. There we go. So it's so pretty. I think the speckles look so good with the silver. I'm so excited. And yeah, can't wait to work on this some more. Again, it's also really mindless. The granny stitch, there's so many things you can do with it, and it might be my favorite crochet stitch, actually. I also love the linen stitch. Yeah, the granny stitch is just one of my all-time favorites. So I'm having a lot of fun with that project as well. And this is actually being housed in this super fun bag from Hobby Lobby. It has sloths on it, y'all. I mean, how stinking cute is this? My dad picked it out as a Christmas gift, I think. I think it was Christmas. For me, for Christmas. And I don't know, I just love it when I get something that was specifically picked out by Dad, because it shows that, you know, he saw it and thought of me, and I love that. So, super cute. I enjoy using it for sure. Okay, my next blanket, and the one that, oh my gosh, I love this so much. Like, my words, I mean, all I say is I'm excited, I love it, you know, I'm obsessed. All of the same adjectives. Really need to broaden my vocabulary for these podcast episodes, but I get too excited. I'm so, this blanket, y'all. Oh my goodness. Okay, so I am using all of these minis by, butcher the name here again, Sheepjeez. I'm sorry, I really am. It's such a beautiful word. It really is. I can't say it correctly, but I am using the Katona line, which is 100% moisturized cotton, and I'm using all of these little 10-gram minis to make a blanket. So it's going to be a square blanket, and composed of individual squares, and each square is a different color, which is a different color in the mini set. So here's what it looks like. I actually need to trim a lot of ends because they're all woven in. I just haven't cut them yet, which I should have done before I started filming, but I forgot. Anyway, so I did an entire column this week. This was really one of the main things that I worked on while on vacation because it was really easy and mindless. And yeah, so here's what it looks like, going really slowly so that you can take in all of the colors. Oh my goodness, I love it so much. So it's going to be 10 by 10, so 10 rows by 10 columns, and then it's going to have a border, and this is just the second column. So I started with this one, which actually, I mean, if we're being super technical here, it's going to go like this. So I started with this column down here, and then I worked this way. Yeah, so started back down here and worked all the way up, and now I have the next 10 minis in this bag ready for the next column. So that is what I'm going to be doing this week. At least that's my goal and plan. I am not going to lie, you guys, I really like to get to a good stopping place on all of my projects before I film, just because it takes, you know, it makes filming easier, it makes showing projects easier, and it makes creating the thumbnail easier. And this project, I finished this column while on our trip, and we got back on Tuesday, and today is Saturday. So I have not worked on this in like 4 days, and it has been bugging me. Like, I want to work on it so bad, but I knew that I was at the perfect stopping place for the podcast, and so I did it. And I had other, you know, things to work on, so it's not like I was at a loss of things to work on. But once I got to like all of the stopping places I needed to last night, I decided that I just had to film a podcast on Saturday because I couldn't wait until Sunday. I just had to work on all of these projects. So, yeah, loving this so much. I can't wait to share it more with you guys as it grows. It's just so beautiful, and it's going to be the perfect blanket for summer with the cotton. It's going to be so great. I'm really excited about it. So, that is it for designs. So many, I know. I'm just working on so many things all at once, but it is what I love. So I'm not complaining one little bit. Now I do have a devotional that I want to share and a little bit of a life update. So let's go ahead and do that. Okay, so for a devotional this week, I wanted to talk for just a few minutes about creation. So while we were on our trip, we went to Gulf Shores. We left on Friday and came back on Tuesday. So it was kind of a extended weekend stay. And while we were visiting my grandparents, they live at the beach, or, you know, very near the beach, not actually on it. But anyway, they live down there, and so we were visiting. And there is a park very close to their house that we have basically grown up on. I mean, we go there every time we're down there, except for the past couple of years because we're now all too big for it. But it's a really special park. It has so many memories. Good and bad, I must admit. I've busted my head open once there, so that was not fun. But mostly good memories. Well, anyway, so this park is surrounded by sidewalks to walk on and just enjoy, and I love that. We don't live near anything like that in the neighborhood that we live in, and I love it so much. I love walking on the sidewalk and just, you know, going everywhere. I would love to live in a place like that one day. But this specific area, there's sidewalks, and so you can walk around the entire park, but then there's also this little botanical area. And there are these raised beds that have so many different kinds of flowers, and there's herbs. It is just absolutely amazing. Mom and I went on a few walks while we were down there, and we stopped there every time. And it's just such a beautiful area. There's like 4, I think, raised beds. I think that's right, and they're huge. And then there's also a bench and a little water fountain, and it is just such a beautiful little area. And so it's so pretty because there's so many different types of flowers and herbs and, you know, all of that in this one little area. And so every time I would go, I would just be absolutely mesmerized by God's creativity and beauty, and it is just absolutely amazing. I honestly feel that, you know, as someone who loves to create things with her hands, you know, I love, even besides knitting and crocheting, I just love, you know, making things like this and all sorts of crafts and things like that just with my hands. I think it is absolutely amazing how much beauty one person can create and give to the world. And God is like the prime example for that. I mean, he created all of the world, and it is just breathtakingly beautiful. So it's something that is so easily, you know, honestly forgotten or looked over or taken advantage of. And I just want to encourage you to just go outside and look at the sunrise or the sunset, you know, depending on if you are a early bird or night owl. I encourage you to just observe one and just see the beauty. I live in Alabama, and our sunsets and sunrises are just absolutely amazing. So I encourage you to just do that and just to go on a walk or to go sit in a chair in your backyard and just take it all in and, you know, listen to the birds and listen to the wind and feel the breeze and smell the flowers. It is just, it's amazing. I can't encourage you to do it more. So I pray that you just enjoy creation over the summer. I know it's really hot, well, you know, in this side of the world, but it's really hot here. But still, I encourage you to just enjoy it and to enjoy this time and spend some time outside because it is so good for you in so many ways. But one of those ways is definitely appreciating and enjoying God's creation just like we are supposed to. So on that note, a little bit of a life update. I've hinted at it many times on the episode, but we did go on vacation this past weekend, and it was very nice. It was a good little break. We went to visit family, and, you know, there's always little hiccups that happen when you travel with 6 people, but overall, it was a good visit, and it was really nice. So I love being home. I am definitely a homebody. I enjoy traveling and going to different places, but again, doing it with 6 people can be a little bit cumbersome at times, and I just love being home. So I had a great time. It was awesome. We swam so much. I am a little more tan now, I think, and luckily you can't tell, but my nose got a little bit burnt, and so it is now peeling, which is wonderful, but luckily you can't tell on the screen. It's bound to happen. We always get a little bit burnt, but that's, you know, a little part of the fun, honestly. It's like the special souvenir you get to take home. Shows that you spent some time in the sun, I guess, which is good. So, anyway, we swam so much. My grandparents have a pool, and so that's literally where we were, like, the entire time. And it was a lot of fun. So, we're back home now. I have spent the rest of this week, we got back on Tuesday, I've spent the next week, the rest of this week, working and designing and writing patterns and lots of things. I've kind of spent a lot of time working on finishing, organizing my room and my whole life, just to be nice and dramatic for you, because school is starting back for me next week. So it's kind of crazy, I'm not gonna lie. This is we homeschooled, well, my siblings are still homeschooled, but I was homeschooled from 6th grade to senior graduation. And, you know, summers were always a little bit different as a homeschooler because we were never, like, completely off. You know, there's always been some things that we do throughout the summer, and it kind of grew to a few more things as time went on. But there was also always some, you know, period of time when we weren't doing hardly anything. And I'm not getting that this summer, so it's really weird. It feels strange, I'm not gonna lie, seeing all, like, everybody's, you know, done with school pictures, and I'm literally going back next Tuesday. So it's kind of crazy. The timing is not great, I'm not gonna lie, but I need to get these classes under my belt. I can only get them under my belt in the summer, so it is what it is, and we're gonna roll with it. I'm gonna do my best, you know, just do it to the best of my ability. That's all I can do. So it is only 3 classes instead of like the typical 5, which is really nice. I'm excited that, you know, it's not as big of a load. But yeah, so I've spent a lot of time this week returning rented books and, you know, figuring out which ones I need now, and just, there's so many things that they like don't tell you about college that you just have to figure out as you go along, and I'm not gonna lie, that part is not fun. But got it figured out now, and I'm just about ready to go. I go to a community college, and so it's like, you know, you won't hear a single word until the day classes start, which is a little bit frustrating, but, you know, at the same time, it is what it is. So that'll be getting started this next week. I'm nervous for it. I'm not gonna lie, these classes are not gonna be easy. But I will get through it and continue to figure out how to balance this little business, this YouTube channel, babysitting all the time, and, you know, all of the things all at once. Balance is hard, but I'm getting there. So I hope you enjoyed this episode and are having such a fabulous week. Again, don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already, and hit that notification bell so that you don't miss out on any future videos. Check out the show notes and all of the other links down in the description box below, and let me know what you are working on in the comments. I have so many fun things coming up, and I cannot wait to share them all with you guys. But until then, I will talk to you all next time. Bye.